Panthers last season. I jumped on that bandwagon big time when they were 3-1 or 4-0, whatever they are. Sam Darnold and CMC were clicking. They were doing their thing. And then guess what? CMC got hurt again. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Sam Darnold's play went way down. They picked up Cam Newton. They don't know what they're coming or going. And this is Matt Rule's prove it year, 100%. They had to nail this draft, and they have to nail next year for Matt Rule to continue as a head coach. So, Wyatt, how did they do?
I thought overall it was a pretty solid draft for the Carolina Panthers. First off, they got what could be the best offensive tackle prospect in the draft at round 1, pick 6, in Ike Ekwonu. Offensive tackle, he played at NC State, and he was just incredible for them. So with that being said, I was really impressed with their first round picks. I was kind of surprised they didn't trade down, but I think the reason why they didn't trade down is because Icky was still there. If Icky wasn't there, I think they would have traded down. So because the offensive tackles just kept falling, they were like, oh, well, I mean, if we can get Evan Neal or Icky, we'll just stay right here. And eventually it ended up falling like, oh, we're going to get to choose. Do we want Icky or do we want Evan Neal? And they chose Icky, and I really don't think you could go wrong with either one. Either way, I think both of them are going to be all-pro offensive linemen, and this is the guy they went with, and I think he's going to do some great things for them. He's going to protect their quarterback incredibly. I mean, he's just a great left tackle, and I think that he could play essentially anywhere on the offensive line, wherever you needed him, but he's going to be primarily at the tackle position, and he's going to be protecting the blind side of one of their 7 quarterbacks now on roster?
6.
I mean, it's like, oh my, yeah, right. No kidding. So speaking of quarterback, then in the 3rd round, they go with Matt Corral, quarterback out of Ole Miss. And I like this pick. I like Matt Corral, just another guy like Desmond Ridder that could have went in that late 1st round, early 2nd round, but just didn't. I was so stunned this year when all these quarterbacks just kept falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling. It's like, God, at some point it's got to stick, and this guy's got to run with this. And nobody ever did. They just waited till the 3rd round, and then finally, they started just flying off the board. And I believe in the 3rd round there was 4 quarterbacks taken off the board, something like that. So, and 3 of those 4 guys arguably could have been 1st round quarterbacks, I think. So, once again, just another solid quarterback that was taken in the 3rd round, and I think that they're going to really benefit from this, and he's going to be a really good locker room guy. And you say it's Matt Rule's prove it year. I think it's Matt Rule and Sam Darnold's prove it year. If Sam Darnold, after getting the protection now that he needs, he's got CMC, he's got Robbie Anderson, he's got DJ Moore. I mean, he's got a nice defense backing him up there. What else do you really need? The complaint always was, oh, he's in New York. Oh, Adam Gase, and I even said the exact same thing. And I agree with that still, that Sam Darnold really struggled in the beginning because of Adam Gase. And I think that probably is going to ultimately end up ruining his career because Adam Gase had his hands on him. So while that's disappointing, I think this is his prove it year. If he comes out and he just plays like garbage and, I'm seeing ghosts, if he gives us that bull crap again, then I really do think that they get rid of him and they stick with Matt Corral. As for Cam Newton, I think Cam Newton's just going to be a locker room guy for them until he finds another home. And he's just going to end up bouncing around the league. And it's really sad to see because, God, Cam was such a polarizing athlete. Like, not just a polarizing quarterback, just an athlete in general. I mean, he packed such a punch with the way that he hit tacklers and the way he could run around everybody, his elusiveness, but yet he had this big arm and all this. So it was just,
Right.
It's really sad to kind of see how his career has gone after the MVP year, because it seemed like it took a while for him, and finally he had figured it out. Oh, MVP season, the Panthers are 15-1, they're in the Super Bowl. Cam Newton finally figured it out, and then it's just like ever since then he just died off, absolutely just fell off the face of the earth. Superman Cam became not Superman, bad man Cam. Like, he was just terrible in New England, and he's shown flashes here and there. And I don't doubt that he still couldn't, go and be a starter somewhere and have an impact. It's just where. That's the question. I don't think it's Carolina.